Hello, good afternoon. Welcome once again to our What's Next After School for Engineers. I'm sure so far you've been enjoying all the professionals that we've been bringing your way. And like I always say, I hope that you're learning and you're taking the lessons that you really need to learn from this session. So today we also have another professional, and Mr. Henry, and I'm sure that he's going to have a lot to tell us as well, and we're going to be able to learn from him as well. So I want you, like I always say, I hope by now your journal is full. Pick that journal, pick, a pen, and make sure that you're writing. You get, sometimes we feel like we'll hear something, but not only do you need to hear it, you need to write it down. Because when you hear it, was you're like, that makes sense, but you might just forget when you stand up from there. So that's why we always encourage you to write, because these journeys, you might find something in this person's journey that might help your own journey. So without much ado, let me welcome Mr. Henry. Please help me make Mr. Henry welcome. Mr. Henry, good afternoon. I'm just going to pin you. You're welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. It's our pleasure and privilege to have you here. So, yeah, I know about you because I've been following you for I think maybe 2 or 3 years. So they don't know you. So that's where we're going to start from this afternoon. So can you tell us about yourself, engineering wise? I'm sure your full name is Henry Barnabas. I'm correct. So just tell us about yourself, engineering wise.
Okay. Thank you, Tolobe, for having me.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to be here and to speak about myself. My name is Engineer Henry Barnabas, and I'm a graduate of civil engineer in civil engineering from Modibo Adama University of Technology, IOLA.
Yola.
And 4 years ago, 4 to 5 years ago, actually. So, and I've been, part of the design and construction of civil infrastructures within the Northeast. And it has been quite an interesting journey, from school theory and then to be part of the practical aspect of engineering. It's a beautiful process and an interesting journey I underwent. And I hope to share a bit of that with you today.
Yes, sir. Tell them what the infrastructure is. We use the infrastructure. Let them know what
Okay.
you're doing.
All right. So it's okay. The infrastructure is I started with building actually. So after graduation, I was just helping people design or helping companies that needed structural designs. Then eventually, not shortly after that, I now went into highway designs with Tractor Nigeria Limited. So that's where I work. And we are into road designs, estate road networks, flyovers, underpass, and grade interchanges generally. Okay, so I've designed a couple of flyovers and underpass geometrically, and also structurally in some elements of it. Yeah, so that's the infrastructure,
Yeah,
and
thank
also
you. Just
storm
he's very humble to
drainages,
have has
storm
designed
drainage system.
some flyovers. Like it's like flyover is just something like you just fly over. Like he's very humble about it. But I've been privileged to follow him for a while and see some of his work, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant. And for me to just see somebody in Nigeria doing it in Nigeria, I graduated from Nigeria, in Nigeria doing that is really massive for me. And civil engineering sometimes there are so many areas and that people could go into, but this is another area whereby is construction and infrastructure construction, whereby they have their own company. They're not it's not a government staff, but they work with government to create this amenities and resources for the society. So that's really very great. Thank you, sir, for saying that. I'm sure after now I'll put your LinkedIn profile down. They can go on. I think you find some time to write and show us something sometimes. So they should go up and read up. I recommend you go up and read up on some of the articles and some of the things that he has put on LinkedIn in the past. It's very fascinating just seeing this design and seeing them come to life. I really, really do love it. Okay. So my next question for you, sir, is you schooled in Yola and you did civil engineering. That was a is it a BSc or ND?
It's a BSc.
It's a BSc. Good. So you schooled
B
in Yola.
actually B engine. Sorry, it's
B
B engine, not BSc.
that's true. BN. I remember that thing when I actually went to a BN school as well. That's very funny. And when we got our BH, you're like, please don't confuse it. It's not BS, it's BH. I remember. So yeah, we're colleagues. I also have a BH. So that's
Okay.
really interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you because you had that university experience in the north and all of that. There are people across south. What was your expectation as a student, and what was the reality when you graduated? What I found is sometimes it's different, sometimes it is not different because some people have been privileged to have an elder brother that was doing engineering or something, so they know what to expect. But what was your experience between being in school and then just graduating?
All right. So while I was in school and approaching towards your first year will be just general courses, and
Yeah.
then by the time you start getting to 300 level towards your 500 level, you'll start doing more specialized courses and eventually do your project.
Yes.
Um, while those period were going, we begin to be exposed to. I was fascinated in watching, structures like Burj Khalifa being constructed
Yeah.
and documentaries of, massive infrastructures. So I was hoping to be one of the people making those things happen. So that was my expectation, and it was mostly structural. So I opted for structural engineering
Option.
aspect
Okay.
of civil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my situation. Although my project was on highway because they did not allow us to choose the project. They just assigned us to supervisors and they gave us, they mandated us to do things that are related to what they
Supervisor is
specialized in. So,
interested.
but then it was a win-win because I specialized on structural, and but my project was on highway, so I had a good share, a good understanding of both. So my expectation, of course, was to be part of major infrastructural designs, and eventually I got to do that because as I started, just in fact before I finished my NYSC. I was posted in a polytechnic, so I was teaching polytechnic students
Wow.
civil
That's
engineering, drawing, and surveying engineering. Yes, that was my first experience, after graduation.
interesting.
So, and that was actually during the period of COVID. Okay, so
Wow.
we were actually COVID coppers then. We spent time at home before eventually going to complete our service. So before then, I had got in contact through a recommendation to the company I work for now. So they
Okay.
were into a flyover design, construction rather. So I joined the team, and before it, and the few questions they just asked me to recruit me was, do I know how to use AutoCAD? I said yes, I can do it. At least I used it while in school. Not formally, they taught me. I
Yeah.
I taught myself, and there was an opportunity that came to learn it at the time. I jumped into it, and I got some insight from there. So I said yes, I can do AutoCAD, and they asked, can you do Excel too? Yeah, I can use Excel. I use Excel in my project. So just come on board. So
Ah,
I now became part of design of of a flyover. That's my first job after graduation. I was part of a flyover. I was lucky, it was coincident because it was in the same state where I studied. So I just I started doing the little things like giving the survey coordinates to the surveyors, processing them on Excel from AutoCAD and all of that. So that became my first experience. And over the years, as the governor in the same state kept introducing more flyovers, the company was responsible for doing that, and I grew deeper into it and went further into software like Civil 3D and Revit. I expanded my skills, and I've now become part of. I've now constructed, or should I say, coordinated, flyover and underpasses, great interchange designs, and even estate rate networks and all of that.
wow, that's brilliant. As in, like, I like that story. Let me ask you one question off the track. So let's say you
Yeah.
didn't know how to use AutoCAD or Excel. Do you think you'll have gotten this job? Because it seemed like that was what they were really majored on.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I might not get the opportunity. Although I could say I can learn fast, I can learn, and then maybe they give me the opportunity to try myself out, because it was not like I knew AutoCAD entirely. I could draw lines and curves. I know the principles of like tangency. You have two lines, you have
Yeah.
to join them with a curve. You understand how that one line affects the other, and the curve is supposed to be positioned. You just those basic things, and of course I have drawn I just knew how to do this isometric drawings. I,
Yeah.
I played with it while I was I got a system, a laptop when I was in school. I just used my leisure time to learn some of those things. Not particular, just because I was just exploring.
Curious.
So I
Yeah.
thought
That's really great because I picked a few things from there. You never know what opportunity is waiting. And I used to tell people, some people are already in their final year and they've already given up. Like, there's no job in this Nigeria. We're just going to pack our bags and go. They're just very discouraged, number one. Number two, take the best of opportunities. They said there was a training that came when he was on campus and he was a part of it. Number three,
yeah,
he uses leisure time to learn this software. There was something I taught, I think about, it was in that COVID year as well. I was teaching about the modern engineer, all right? Engineering principles do not change, but there are new tools that we're using day to day. In fact, I started saying to people that if you don't know how to use Excel now, Excel is like a basic skill now for an engineer. Like you can't graduate again and say you don't know how to use Excel. Like it's now basic, it's now like basic level. So in fact, I was really shocked at how much of Excel I have to use in my day-to-day job. I was shocked. Interestingly, luckily for me, I knew how to use it, but I was actually extremely shocked of how much of analysis and you put it in and how much of Excel that you need to do, or even somebody sends you an Excel sheet and then the macros is off and then you need to activate the macros. I'm just so very when it is not mathematics, when it is not computer science, there's just so much of Excel that we're doing. So that's a learning point I wanted to pick there. That anytime you get the opportunity to learn something, learn it. And also, if you have leisure time, it's not just try and see what tools are needed out there if you're still in university or even if you're still waiting for a job. Because I imagine that maybe he wouldn't have grown as far, maybe he would have still gotten the job, we can't say. But the fact that he knew that so use those two things made a huge difference. For example, if I wanted to recruit an engineer today, if you don't know how to use Excel, I don't know because the time you get because Excel is
most
not our
likely.
job gone as they will say in Nigeria. That's not the main thing. Like that's the side thing. Like there are other things I can teach you. But if you don't know, you will need to sort of learn fast. So and this is why I
Yeah.
say to people that what are these softwares that influences your job that you need to be using day to day and so. So people don't even know how to use Microsoft Word very well or use Microsoft PowerPoint very well. Or now the ability, somebody wrote on his CV that, he knows how to Google stuff. And I thought that was a good skill because some people don't even know how to use Google, as in like Google, just to Google stuff. You are querying something, you are researching something, you want to find something, you put something inside. Talk less of we now move to the next stage, which is now maybe artificial intelligence tools, machine learning tools, and all of that. So, you just need to be keep even us that we're in industry, we are upping our game, upping our game, and upping our game. I keep taking courses, to up my game and to learn softwares and stuff. So that's really, really, really very brilliant. And it's just an encouragement that in Nigeria, somebody finished and they got a job, and that job is impactful, is impacting their community, and they're able to actually use what they learned in school. And that's why I tell people don't just say, oh, this thing is just rubbish, it's scam, it's no, no, no. It can be frustrating when people come out and have not gotten a job. But you're the second person that I've interviewed that got a job immediately. Now, other people have other stories. And so there are different dimensions to this. This is what I'm trying to say. And also, you can keep looking for opportunities. Now that you've learned that, okay, maybe you've not thought as a civil engineer, maybe you can go into structures or highway. You've heard from him, like I said, go to his LinkedIn profile. Even for all of you, go and look at it. It's just brilliant. I'm just so excited when I see something engineering. And I think that's why I started following you in the first place, because I just saw what he was doing, seeing the drawings, seeing them come to life. I just really love that. So that's really great. So my next question to you, sir, is now, one of the things we keep hearing, and one of the reasons why we're having this, is people keep saying, oh, there are no jobs. There are no jobs. There are this, that, or the jobs are not paying well enough and all of that. What would be your three points that you can give to somebody that just graduated today and they are looking for a job in Nigeria?
All right. So, some of the things you said, explaining how you just have to have some basic skills like Excel and all of those are things that people take for granted, but they are very important. So the thing is here, the how do I call it, the popular thing like there's no job and all of that. It's not true. It's not true. Now, it's true that, of course, there are more people graduated than there are, maybe there are available jobs at the
Jobs,
moment.
yeah.
But there are jobs that are not being filled at the moment because there are no qualified people to take them.
Mm.
Yeah, I personally, for so far I've grown. I know so many managers in the company, and some of them have requested me to bring someone that is as smart as me. They will try to say that, but I'll tell them it's not easy. I went through a journey before I'm here, so you should be willing to accept somebody that at least will go through. But then to find someone that I have found someone, I've gotten someone before, recommended rather someone, and the person went and blew up the opportunity because he went there and he didn't even have the basic skill that he claimed he had. Okay, so there are jobs that there are people that came to me and asked me to bring. Even right now, I'm telling you, someone has told me to get someone for him as an engineer that will do AutoCAD stuff and Civil 3D stuff, someone that is smart and understands things. So and I've brought several people, through to the jobs. There are jobs, but they need these people to have basic skills. At least you should be able to use AutoCAD. We cannot overemphasize this. You should be able to use, if you want to go into designs, actually. Yeah, of course, there are site engineers and all of that, but be able to use this AutoCAD, be able to use Excel. Excel is for sure. You must be able to it because it's either you even if you're on site, you should be able to take records and record these things. And mostly it's on Excel you do these things. So there are jobs, there are high paying jobs, there are technical jobs, all of those things are there, but we need people that are willing to come with at least some level of skill, into it. It's what you want. It's what you have that they will need. Nobody is ready to. Most of them, I must tell you. I later before getting employed, I was trying to. I was fighting all these things that I see posts, and then they will say they need someone with so number of years of experience. I used to fight those things, but when I come into the system, I realized that you may not entirely blame these people why they ask for those numbers of years of experience because they expect that person should have been they don't have time to train you.
Yeah.
They don't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of these companies, the system of Nigeria, and not just that, because they are private, they are after profits. So they
Yeah.
want to start, they are making money. So they want someone, they will not come and spend, let's say, 1 year or
To
some
train.
months. You are not adding value yet.
Mm.
So yeah, that's why you really need to seek internship roles, even though they are not paying you. Just go there, get the experience, have some basic skills, and when you come, you're already, they want you as you are coming, you're already giving value. Okay, they
Mm.
may give you one of some few weeks or a month, but it may not be more than that. So you must show that level of commitment prior to this, and then you will get jobs. There are jobs. So that's knowledge. You have to take away that knowledge. There are jobs. Once you make yourself valuable, you
Mhm.
know, you will be valuable. I was speaking with some people today. Sorry, let me add that before I go.
Yeah.
Two people today, they're about to pass out. They are coppers, and they're about to pass out from a particular company. Okay. So they were telling me that they don't know whether they will be retained. So, but they were honest enough to admit to me that they are not sure they have even been giving value since they were corporate. They were not giving value to the company. So they were not doing. So they were there. It's a design engineer company, but the manager was contracting it out because they are there, but they could have you know develop themselves and presented themselves within that 1 year they were serving to the manager to show that they can do this thing. But they were just there and he was busy contracting the design to
Uh,
another third party. So I told him, no, you shouldn't have done that. You should have proven yourself and then he will just try you one day and give you this design. And then if you're able to do something, even if he cannot give everything to you, he will pay you up to the people that he's contracting. Okay, subcontracting, let this person learn under you for some time. These things you have
yeah.
to be intentional, and
Mm.
there's no way you will be intentional and you'll not find jobs that will pay you what you want and build your career from there.
Yeah. Wow, that's really great because I like, sometimes there's nothing like a real life example. It's just a real
Yeah.
life example brings it home. And I just love that. That's even why we invite people because we can actually speak on this, write a book on how to get a job after school and all of that. But it's always good that people see people that are living this principle life. All right. And just what you've explained, you have a whole year. Yes, government is paying you, maybe you got some stipends and all of that. But if you can prove yourself, if that manager can give you, because if he's subcontracting, it's part of his profit is going to that subcontract. contract agreement. So if you can pay you, we prefer to retain you, and then you don't have to start roaming the streets until you get something else. So I really, really, really agree with that idea that please be intentional. Look, people are not intentional sometimes until it is like now 6 months after NYC, there's no job, maybe the money has finished and all of that. That's when people now start getting intentional. Like we're now like desperate, right? Before the money finish, try and find somewhere to learn like AutoCAD or buy a laptop, during NYC, save someone. Because some people come to me and say they don't have a laptop. And I'm like, okay, what have you done about not having a laptop? All right. So some people genuinely cannot afford a laptop, but I found out that sometimes they've not made it priority. All right, to try and focus the money that the little changes that they are getting, they've not focused it towards a laptop. Some people are focused it towards a phone. All right. So if you're an engineer and you don't have so much money, you have a very good phone, but you don't have a laptop, I don't know what we are talking about then. You get so sometimes, we can't blame people for how life has handled them or something like that, but make sure that you're intentional. And I really like that as well. Make sure you are intentional about it, and then you will get something. Because I'd like to ask you if there is somebody now, they have no AutoCAD Express, they have no Excel Express, and maybe the money has finished. And let's say they have a laptop. Let's leave one supporting stick. At least they should have something. Let's say they have a laptop.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for them, sir?
So here's the there are there are a lot of free materials on the YouTube, on several platforms, and some people are giving out, these trainings, and some of them almost for free. Okay, personally, I have a video on YouTube that is have helped a lot of people get jobs. But people will just call me that they have got that is my video that helped them get job. Some in Canada, some in UK, in
Wow.
different countries, many of them in Nigeria too. So yeah, they just watched the video and they attended the interview and they were able to just present something. They designed this road because on that video, I just designed entire road and I gave out the survey data there. So you just pick it and do it. You can just add that already on your experience in your CV. It's just as good as because you can defend it now. You did it. So if you have that laptop, just go to the free resources that we have on YouTube. I learned a lot with YouTube. I paid for some courses, but I think a major part of what I learned is just searching how to. That word how to is a magic word.
That's the magic
It's a
word.
magic word. Once you just type how to on Google, you will get a ton of resources. And even now it has gotten better with ChatGPT. You will
Yeah.
just get an accurate answer with references. So yeah, what are you waiting for? All hope is not lost. At least you have that laptop. Even if you don't have, go and attend a church and maybe raise up your hand for a miracle. Something will happen, maybe.
Like I really, 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 really love that. I really love that. Or even if you don't have, borrow from somebody or something. And he has
Yeah, yeah,
said it.
yeah.
He said,
Borrow.
yeah, borrow. If you have a laptop, there are free resources. And he said that, you know, uh, the thing about it that is just getting my head. Did you see what he said? He designed the road and then put the survey data there so that you can replicate it yourself. All right. Just imagine that you spend February doing that. Do you know how many things you can add to your CV in February if you do that? And then you can defend it because you've done it.
And just to add, apart from that designing road, I made a video on how to remotely extract survey data from anywhere around the world. So
Wow.
you can, apart, yeah, not just design the road that I have designed. You can pick a road in your community that you felt like it should be redesigned or something. You use that tool to extract the survey data there and produce a preliminary design. You can present that to if you are somebody that is daring, just go and present it to the government house or just post it online. You don't know, just post it online. We have
Oh
LinkedIn.
my.
See, post what you have done. People have been contacted. Like I have been contacted severally for jobs or for opportunities just by the videos that I have on LinkedIn. They just contact me, hey, can you do this for me, please? And all of that. And then you make your money and before you know you are connected to another opportunity or an opportunity like that. So
Wow. Wow. This thing
use online resources very well.
my mind because you are saying that you put there as you have a video on YouTube that you can pick any road in the world and
Yes.
design. Wow. Do you know what that means? Like
Exactly.
you can have an interview and decide at the front of the road in the interview, like Adeniji Jones or something. You can just redesign it and show them like, do you know how mind blown if you come to me for it? I was like, ah, let's employ this guy before another person carry. Do you know, that's really,
Yeah,
really great. Wow. First of all, let me say thank you for that because this is free on YouTube, right?
it is. It is free there.
Wow, wow, wow. Even just
Yeah,
say wow, 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 because it just I'm just thinking about all the possibilities, all the possibilities. Like you can just look at for the traffic zones, just do stuff as in all the possibilities that you can do. You can even start doing
yeah,
it as an NGO work into community, that this community, if they ever decide to get a road, you already have a plan for them and you
exactly.
can repair the road, and then you can even start getting grants or something. As in, it's just as a copper, you can decide to map out the road in the states, and then they will give you what did they give that state award or something like that. You get opportunity. I think there's a cash award that comes alongside. There's a whole lot
Yeah,
in that video that's a massive resource. That's really a massive resource because I can even sit here in London and decide that the road in front of my house, this is what I want to propose to my local government. Like, wow. Okay. All right. I
yeah,
think I need to get my hands on that YouTube video myself and see what I can do with it, even though
yeah.
I'm not a civil engineer. But yeah, that's really great. And that's where, sometimes I feel like despair and disappointment clouds people's judgment as well as hunger. All right. So, first of all, for the people that are graduating, and don't be despaired, there's so much out there for you to do. The people that already graduated, when you have money, the NYC money they give you or the whatever, start using it to learn things and stuff so that you don't get to an hunger position. Because if a man is hungry, we have to feed him first before he can do stuff. But you see, there are things that you can do on YouTube. This is like somebody saying you can have remote experience. That's really what you are giving them on YouTube. Like it's like remote
Yeah,
experience that they can practice. I
exactly. True.
I,
That's
I
exactly.
really love that. I really, really love that. Thank you so much. Let me thank you for that resource. We will see if we can find those videos and link them below. But I expect you now to be Googling his name and be looking for that video already. But we'll see if we can load it here below and all of that. I know as well, and he's not asked me to do this. He also has, I think he has courses. I don't know if they are live yet or are they live. Do you have paid courses, right? Are they live?
Yes, I have a paid course on highway design that went in depth, but I'm also making more courses like on bridge design
Okay.
and several others. They
Okay.
are coming up. I'm building a website for that.
Okay. All right. So he's building a website. Just start following him, like they say in Nigeria, bumper to bumper, like this. Be following him on LinkedIn and just seeing what he does and all of that. And also go to his YouTube channel. I'm sure he will announce those things when they are time. Thank you so much, Dan. Now let me. I know you don't have much time for us today. Any last words for us engineers in Nigeria?
Yeah. Okay. So I think I've said a lot, and we have actually encouraged in so many ways from the things I have said, and you have also added. So the thing is, there are opportunities. There are several opportunities, but we need people, especially engineering graduates. Okay, um, it's important that as you are learning in school, be aware of or where you are going. Like
Mm,
be exposed on the things that are outside. Don't just be there. And we have had a lot of engineering students graduate to become bankers and go into business, go into, it's not wrong, that could be your destiny. But then it's because most of them is not because they wanted to do those things, but it's because they felt like there's no more opportunities here. But
yeah,
there are these opportunities, and you just need to be, as we said earlier, highlighted, be intentional and be eager to learn. Seek internship role. There was this popular person, Dr. Stephen Akintoye. He was speaking on his journey, and then he highlighted the fact that people need to just go into any firm or an organization and then just
mm,
volunteer to work. If you
yes,
see someone like, I've had some people that are smart enough like that have come to me, okay, in my workplace, and then just said, I just want to come and then walk alongside. Some of them as coppers, and they just want, and then they were able to be guided. And there's a copper that was once just a copper with us. Now he's now working with us, and he's part of the designs that I'm doing. Okay, so you just have to be intentional. Walk into an organization, just work for them. Just offer to work for them, even though they're not going to pay you. By the time you prove yourself, you become, an asset. So generally speaking, you just have to have a growth path. Okay.
Growth
There are
spot.
a lot of resources to do that. The YouTube is a wealth of resources. I cannot overemphasize this. Almost anything you want to learn, you may not have. The problem is people want everything to be given them, on a package, and that's not bad because, and that's the reason why, like some of us that have spent the sleepless night, gathering and curating some of these things, and then from our experience, are trying to build so a platform where you can
Course.
now learn
Yeah.
it in a nice way.
One.
I know people that are doing that in several course in other areas like Revit or Prota structure. People are doing those courses online, and it's good. And yeah, just jump in one of those, and then get that knowledge, get that skill, and then be connected also. Like be exposed. I have a community also on Telegram. There are other communities too where you can stay and then you interact with people. You will see how people are growing and they grow along and increase yourself. Don't be one place and don't just believe as though there's no job and all of that. No, no, no. You have to prove yourself. Keep going. I understand that the stress of the country, due to financial and everything is there, but you can do something about it. You cannot just give up because of that. You can do something. And since you can do something about it. So
Wow.
I think that's what I can
I
encourage.
really, 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 really love that. Thank you so much. I like the fact that you said that, you can do something about it. And, how did I find you? I just saw one post. I'm always on the lookout, engineer to the core. I'm always on the lookout for stuff. So, even on LinkedIn and all that, I don't say what are they doing there. You don't have to pay for these platforms. Just find the people that are there, that are engineers. If you cannot find anybody, just type civil engineer in Nigeria. You'll find one or two people. Start following them. That will lead you to other people as well. So, I like what you have said. The magic word is the how to. I will never forget that. How to. If you just type how to on Google and stuff, you are done. So
You're
it's been
done.
great. All right. It's been great really learning from him today. I just hope we will still get him back in 1 minute to be able to say thank you. But it's been really, really, really wonderful. I hope that we all can go back. If I were you, I would be running to all these channels to go and look for him, and all of that, and just follow and just see how it is. And you don't have to be a civil engineer. I just wanted to have that. I follow him and I saw his work. I learned a lot from there as well. And to just see possibility. Sometimes it's just the visionary aspect. You can see possibility of how things are um sort of possible in Nigeria. So it's been a pleasure to have Engineer Henry here today. We'll drop all his details down below. Like I always say, don't go and harass them for jobs. Always just follow them, see what they're doing, and your own opportunity is going to come to you soonest. All right, so till I come your way again, that's all for this week. We'll drop some learning outcomes and assignments in the portal, and we hope that you can go on to do that and make a success of it. Thank you very much. Cheers.